under there. Is Jerry on there? Okay, will you just give me a, I'll make a note if they, either of them, So Laura Lee is absent and Jerry Hamilton is absent. Okay, Pledge of Allegiance. Sarah, you're up here. Lead us in the pledge. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start. Maybe not.
All right.
Yeah.
Jenna, will you read our mission statement?
Sure. Our mission is to put each student first every day.
All right. First on the agenda is approval of the agenda.
You can sit there.
We do, oh, that wasn't ever posted. We don't have to change that. Because it was
No.
posted. Okay. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Dave Burke has seconds to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye. 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 That passes 4-0. Okay, public comment. The board appreciates the opportunity to hear from the public during the comment portion of its meetings. Before we begin, a reminder that the public comment period is to allow members of the public to provide input to the board in its capacity as a legislative body. The public comment period is not a forum for discussion or debate between the board and the members of the public. Board does not engage in discussion during public comments, but may later follow up on comments made during public comment. Each individual will be allowed 3 minutes to provide comments to the board. The board will not allow public comments during board meetings that are slanderous, obscene, or otherwise violate state or federal law. Employees and or their representatives may not use the public comment period to address issues that should be raised through existing formal communication channels or established grievance or negotiation procedures. Public comment, any others coming out? We have one tonight. Judy Sweeney. Where'd you go?
Just my question.
Yep.
My question is, will all ESPs receive the bonus? If not, who's getting it? Who's not getting it?
Okay. I don't have the answer, but we have Matt.
So the state sent out a survey, following those guidelines, the people highlighted in that survey for eligibility will get it. I don't have a list of them off the top of my head, but it's following the survey that was put out by the state
Is it on the state site? Or
Board of Education. I'm sorry, what?
can we find it online?
I'm assuming so, but I don't know the answer to that. So you're welcome to swing by and visit with me at my office. But yeah, those are the guidelines we're following.
Thank you.
And ESP stands for
Educational Support Professional.
Okay. Thank you. Next is the student body president report. He is at dress rehearsal, so.
He's at dress rehearsal, so he wants everyone to know they are invited to participate in Anastasia, which is the school musical this year. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 7 p.m. It's $10 for adults and $8 for students and seniors. So he wants everyone to know they're invited. That was his update.
Do you know if are they doing a dress rehearsal at HMK? Sometimes they do that.
No, but they will do it for the Red Devil Pride, like our RDP time on Friday, from like 9:30 to 10 for the other high school students. Just selections, not the whole class.
Okay. That's what they did. Okay, board recognitions. So we're doing students of the month and Holly is here for HMK to present kindergarten through 6th. End of the month.
All right, we are going to start with our kindergartner, Connor. Oh, Peter, I know it's already done. All right, I'm going to read something about you. Can you come stand in here? So Connor is a bright boy with such a cute and fun personality. He is kind and helpful and a good friend to others. Connor is a respectful and responsible student. He comes to school each day, smiling and ready to learn. He listens and follows directions well, stays on task, works well independently, and he has made great improvements with not trying to get his work done, but being sure he always does his best work. Connor's participation and enthusiasm throughout lessons is much appreciated, and the teacher really loves that. He is encouraging others and is an awesome example for his peers to follow. Connor is a joy to teach, and I'm lucky to be his kindergarten teacher. Keep up the great work, Connor. I am so proud of you. Give Connor a round of applause.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Riot. Not bad. All right, so let's talk about you now. Riot is the overall student of the month, and he comes to school every day excited and ready to learn new things. He's a fantastic helper to friends who need a little extra support finishing their work. He always tries his very best to be a problem solver on his own. He's a very active listener in the classroom and is always willing to share his thoughts with the rest of the class. Riot is dependable, smart, and all around a great student and friend. Awesome job, Riot. There you go. Well done, buddy.
You turn this way.
Yeah. All right, Maria. All right, Miss Sheila's class nominated Maria. And Maria is smart, she's kind, she's hardworking. She always demonstrates resilience when things are hard. And she patiently lends a hand when others need help. And your class loves having you in their class. Want to hold everybody up? Hey, Oliver. What? All right, Oliver also comes ready to learn and participate every day. He keeps his peers accountable to doing what's right, and he just needs to keep that up. Good job, Ollie. Come on. Wait, oh, yeah. What about that? All right. Or you get signed in still?
No.
Hey, all right. November student of the month, overall fourth grade student, right here. He works hard every day and is a great problem solver. He's very kind and always helpful to people around him. Thank you, Dylan. We wish you keep up that work. Good job. Oh, it's somewhere in the mix?
Yep. We didn't give out two, did we? Anybody?
Maybe get two.
Me beside the Smith family.
No? Okay, well,
We'll have to give
I'll
you-
get it to you, okay, then? All right, Harper. Come on up. Harper is the fifth grade overall student of the month from Miss Hall's class. Harper goes out of her way to accomplish her goals at school. She studies at home. She shows attention to detail. She knows what she wants and she goes for it. She's an incredible student. She's also great at working with others and sharing her ideas with the class. We are lucky to have her in our class and I'm honored to be her teacher. Joey's told me hi too. She makes me feel welcome. Porter. Where did I find you? Okay, I'm still gonna read about her. Porter is the overall sixth grade student of the month. He demonstrates a remarkable eagerness to participate and contribute in class discussions, enhancing an overall learning environment for his peers. Porter's social intelligence shines through as he consistently looks out for others, ensuring that everyone feels included and valued. With a positive attitude and a caring heart, he fosters a sense of community in our classroom. We are fortunate that Porter is a member of our learning community and of our world.
Just have to thank you. Oh, so, yeah. Because, thank you. All right, next will be the middle school. Carrie.
I don't see my seventh graders. Is our eighth grader student of the month, Cash McCandless, and his teachers had this to say about him. Cash is dedicated and dependable student who is a dedicated and dependable student who confidently shares thoughtful ideas and reads aloud. He works hard, masters his lessons, and stays humble. Cash always participates actively and comes prepared with correct answers. He is reliable when faced with challenges and has a polite, positive attitude. Cash is a valued member of all the teachers' classes. His favorite subject is math, and he is also on the swim team. Cash plays the piano and the trombone. He is 5'10", and he thinks he has a really bad handwriting. Cash's advice to his fellow students is, before you ask for help, try first. Congratulations, Cash.
I think you've grown like 4 feet. And holy cow.
What was that?
8th grade. All right. Kari. Oh.
Only see one. So Gemma, come on up. Gemma Phillips, everyone. Okay, we got a lot about Gemma here. So Gemma is a junior and the daughter of Christy Nichols and Dan Phillips. Christy Nichols is a teacher at HMK. Gemma enjoys her medical anatomy and physiology class, loving the opportunity to learn how the human body works and how to treat it effectively. She also enjoys chemistry, finding it rewarding to reorganize her notes and help other students learn the material and perform well on test. Interestingly, she finds both of these classes as her favorites and her most challenging. As anatomy requires weekly quiz preparation and chemistry demands extra time at home for reorganizing notes and adding information. Outside of academics, Gemma has been highly active in sports, participating in soccer, where she's the team captain and manages the boys team as well, track and field, cross country, and girls basketball. She is also involved in the National Honor Society and recently joined the Science Olympiad team. Her community involvement includes volunteering for the Moab Trail Marathon, the Community Rebuilds Haunted Bunkhouse, and assisting her mother's elementary school classroom and the school library during the summer. Gemma credits GCHS with teaching her time management, which has been essential for keeping her grades up and her stress down. She is currently employed by the city of Moab as a referee for city rec sports, including soccer and volleyball, and an umpire for baseball and softball. Those are rough jobs if you've ever had to do it. She's been doing that for about 7 months. Looking ahead, Gemma plans to attend college and play soccer and pursue a degree in the medical field, interest in professions such as physical therapy, nutritionist, sports medicine, or speech pathology. So she's going to be really busy studying. Her core advice for other high school students and HMK students and middle school students is take time for a break. Rehabilitation and rest will help you emphasize that you perform your best when you are healthy. This is Gemma Phillips. Oh, wait. Hang on. Thank you. And I don't see Josh Kelly, but he's our other student of the month. I can just let you know real quick, he's the son of John Kelly. His favorite classes are his auto classes in the auto program because he always has been around mechanics because that's what his dad does. In contrast, he finds math classes to be the most challenging as it is a subject he struggles with. During his time, he has participated in wrestling and football. The most valuable thing he's learned at school is how to set goals, which subsequently led him to learn how to achieve those goals. He's currently employed at the Moab Brewery. He has worked there for the last 9 months as a food runner, describing the job as pleasant, not too difficult and pays decent money. After graduating high school, Josh plans to enter the oil fields and work for them, stressing the importance of personal initiative by stating, if you want to change something, you have to initiate the change yourself. That's Mr. Josh Kelly. Thank you.
Right, if you're welcome to, speak out, but we do have a riveting audit presentation by Kyle.
They drove a long way to be here.
But I don't think I think,
You
no.
tried. You tried.
The temperature in the building will go down.
Yeah.
You don't wanna know. Okay.
You're welcome to pull a chair out or you can sit at the table, wherever you,
Yeah,
wherever you're most comfortable, man.
Perfect.
so,
Come right on up. All right.
yep. Kyle's here to present the findings of the audit for the 24-25 school year. This from Squire. I don't think that, is that the full name of Squire?
Squire Company.
Okay, you don't have more people to add at the end,
No.
so
No.
make it easy.
All right, you want me to go?
Yes,
All
please.
right.
We're right.
Okay, so first off, just an update. So we've issued the financial statements, but the federal government has not issued the compliance supplement that we need to be able to actually finalize and issue our compliance reports. So we've done our testing. We have a draft of that. We think we're good, but we cannot issue until we get that. So they were late on doing that, and then the shutdown happened, and then it is still not a priority for them yet. Historically, that gets issued in July, just so you know how late they are. So it's nothing you've done, it's nothing we've done, but we are in hold up. So there is just the one packet tonight, for that. But this has the financial information in it. So, I guess we can go there. It's page 1 right after the table of contents, but this is really the only piece of this report that's ours, and this is our audit report where we ultimately issue our opinion. And so that second paragraph says, in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects. So in plain English, that means plain opinion. Right, so we're giving an unmodified opinion, plain opinion. If you go down under the basis for opinions paragraph, it's there in bold, that paragraph. That last sentence says, we believe that the audit evidence we have to obtain is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our audit opinion. So because we were able to get the support, we were able to then be able to test the balances and say that they're good balances, right? And so that's where the connection is. So we were able to do the testing. We did that, came out in August and did that work of testing. There was 4 of us this year, did the testing, and then we've just been doing some follow-up and again, waiting and hoping for the federal government, but they haven't done it yet. That next paragraph is the emphasis of matter paragraph that's there this year. Just so you know, there's a new government accounting standard that came out. The district implemented that. Because of that, there was a restatement in your financial statements, but that is just purely because of implementation and what that requires, not a we did it wrong. It's just getting up to the new speed. Everybody's had that this year. So again, if you see that as you read, if you do read through and you see restatement, again, at times that can feel like that's a bad thing. This time it is not. It's purely just applying the new standard that came out, okay, related to compensated absences. So, okay. All right, so let's go just through a few numbers here. If we go to page 14, I'll skip through. So I'm skipping through the management's discussion and analysis, which can be good to read just as a quick overview of this report. And then skipping the full accrual statements to get to your fund statements. So as a reminder, you've got your three major funds. You've got your general fund, your debt service fund, and your capital projects fund. Those are your three majors, and then all your remaining funds are there in that other governmental funds column. So in the general fund, that's the first column. I was just going to focus down on your fund balances. And so committed there, it says economic stabilization for 1,460,000 there. So that's the 5% that you're allowed by law to set aside. And again, as a reminder, as a board, that resolution happened a long time ago. And for you, the district, to dip into this money would require another board resolution to release those funds. Okay, so that's money that is controlled by resolution here of the board. And then the next row down is some employee benefit obligations. So some money has been set aside for compensated absences for the early retirement program that you have. And so it's just a show to your employees that, hey, we have some money set aside for some of the benefits that we promised you in our policies. Okay. And then there's some assignments there for different programs, repairs, just some other things. Those assignments are done at the management level. And so that would be Matt and his team that can set those assignments. And then there's unassigned, that's the very bottom, 14.5. Those are just monies that you get to use for operations of the district. Okay, and so nothing there. So that's the kind of the fund balance, get you to a total fund balance in the general fund of 17.4 million that will roll into the next year to continue operations there of the district. Okay. Debt service fund, just over 2 million there. That fund balance is restricted for debt service payments. So you can't use it for anything but those. And then likewise, the next column over 5.3, that's for capital outlay for some of the capital projects that you have ongoing. For this year, the track was almost done by year end by this balance sheet over at the high school. And then you've started as you did your HMK upgrades are kind of the two big projects. So some of that money is being used there for that. Okay. We go 2 more pages now, page 16. So that was a point in time report. The balance is right as of June 30th. This now is activity for the year. So all the money that you brought in and how that money was spent. So this now represents 12 months of activity here. Again, same presentation. I will go off to the far right first and just show total governmental funds. So of the 36.7 million of revenues you have, 22.5 of that comes from your property taxes. So heavily relied on the property taxes here that you get. The next largest there being state at 9.3 million, and then the federal government at 1.9. That federal government again declined this year if you were to look at comparative years because of some of that COVID or ESSER money that went away. But still got in about 1.9 this year. Okay, so those are the monies coming in, and then we go back to the general fund, the first fund. That's where most of the money now gets spent. 13.5 of that is in instruction, so you can think of that kind of in the classroom, the teachers, the aides, the supplies, all the textbooks, all of those things goes in there, and then the various other functions of the district with your administrative staff, operations, transportation, things that way. So go all the way down on that first column. You can see there was almost a $2.8 million increase in the fund balance before we transferred $400,000 over to the food service fund. So that's what that negative 400,000 there is we had to subsidize the food program this year to cover its losses from the food service program. So that's that 400,000 there. That's up 50,000 from last year. So that maybe is something to look at there, the food service program, and look at the operations of that and see if that can maybe be run a little bit more efficiently there. But it's not abnormal for smaller districts to have to transfer some to help subsidize. So there's that. So
Is that ever a finding? Sorry, that wouldn't trigger. Okay.
No, it wouldn't trigger. If we didn't transfer the money, what it would be is there would be a deficit fund balance, meaning you would be in the negative in the school lunch fund. That would,
Right.
because you cannot have a deficit fund balance. But but the transfer
But
itself
doing
is
it,
fine.
okay.
You're totally allowed to do that. And so
Okay.
that's totally. Good question. So after that transfer, so your net change in your general fund, there's just under 2.4 million after that transfer, which gets you to that 17 million that we talked about before with all the different commitments and assignments and other stuff. Okay. Debt service, you made your principal payments. So nothing to report there. Those are just the principal payments that have been made. You've got about 3 years left on your first geo bond, but I believe we're getting close on bonding again.
Refunding, yeah.
Or refunding, okay, and so those are your geo bonds, about 3 years left, and then in the capital projects fund, you also see some principal and interest. That's your lease revenue bonds that go through the capital projects fund. So that's why there's debt service in each of those. The debt service fund covers your geo bonds. Your capital project fund covers your lease revenue bonds, okay? And then in your capital projects, you spent about 4.8 million this year. Again, most of that being the track and the start of that HMK update that you had, okay? Awesome. So those are your general funds. That's what I was gonna go over. There's a lot more in here. If you've got questions, I'm happy to dive into any of them. The other thing, I did just bring this little one sheet here. More just for information. Again, it doesn't mean right or wrong when you look at any of these numbers, but just, hey, what are other districts, what are other boards maybe doing with their abilities to adjust budgets and impact change. So these 4 districts that I chose are just 4 districts that are close to your enrollment. Not necessarily geographically, especially South Summit, but just close to your enrollment. And these are ones that have their audits finalized so that we can give numbers. Obviously, San Juan would be a good comparison, but their audit has not been released yet. So unrestricted fund balances. So these are the ones that we went over. So committed is the green. Again, that's what you as a board have by resolution. The assignment is what Matt and his team have, and then the blue is the unassigned. So you can see for you guys, you have, and this is as a percentage of your general fund expenditures. So you guys have close to about 70% set aside in your fund balance for your general fund. You can see some other districts similar in different components. Some have a larger unassigned like you, some have more assigned. It just, again, up to the board and the management there. That very far right column is just a total of all the school districts that have less than 10,000 in enrollment and what they kind of look like. The further down you get on the enrollment list, the more it reflects closer to what you guys have. The higher up you get, it does become a little bit less of a fund balance.
You mean inside the population?
No, as the students.
Yeah.
Okay, then next is property tax revenues. We did that one again because that's also a board decision. You guys get to decide how much you want to leverage any of your capital projects by debt or by a capital levy and different things. And so it just reflects what decisions are being made there. So you can see for the ones that are presented, Grand and Beaver have some debt. Some of the other districts in your size currently don't have any debt and are trying to do that through capital levy or just don't have capital needs right now. So they aren't bonded. Okay. And then just on the backside, just showing you how your general fund expenditures are spent. This does not have the little note. There are some districts that will have, and you guys have it, community services in your general fund. Those have been taken out. So that's why it doesn't equal 100% between the two of you. But this just shows, hey, of the dollar that comes in, how much gets spent in our classrooms. So again, about 55% of the dollars, when the dollar comes in, 55 cents of it goes into the classroom. And then the other 45 cents is to cover some of the different supporting services that you have, okay? And in comparison, just to have other districts, again, similar in your size from enrollment and how they are also spending those dollars. And then of your general fund, how much of that is salaries and benefits? And so for Grand County, salaries and benefits in the general fund equal 83% of your expenditures. And then comparing that again to some other districts. Again, Just because one's higher or lower does not mean necessarily good or bad. It's just what has decided what they are doing with some of the monies they're getting. But just the ability to look and see what others are doing and compare. You know, we've heard, at least as we go around sometimes, how do we compare? What are we doing? And so that's what this is just intended to try to highlight some key things that you're doing and how you do it compare. Okay. For the single audit really quick, that's the federal, again, not issuing, but we are anticipating one finding there. We tested the ESSER funds again. The Beacon program got some of that money and we have unable, they're supposed to file an annual report. We've been unable to see that. So the district got some money, Beacon got some money for that program. The district submitted their report showing how they spent that money. We have not obtained, and we don't believe it happened, that the Beacon sent in their report. So there will be, or we are anticipating that one finding. Just so you do know, we will issue that as soon as we can. We'll let you know once we get the compliance supplement, but we have no timeline right now.
That report was supposed to come from you.
The compliance supplement, yeah, the federal government, the office of the OMB is what they're called. Management and Budget Office, there, the federal government, they release it.
No, I mean the reports, on that, that's all.
For the ESSER funding, no, those reports go to the state of Utah.
Oh.
And we've checked with the contact that we have with the state of Utah, and they also do not have a report. So we try to see if we could go to them and say, hey, show us what was submitted, but they don't have anything either. So we are anticipating that one finding when we are able to issue that report. State compliance, we're not anticipating any issues, and we'll have a clean opinion on that one.
Isn't that though on the compliance report, that Beacon, the reports that we're supposed to submit to the state, isn't that part of your compliance? That's your compliance report, right? Not
The
this.
separate, so
Okay,
this is the financials, and then we have a separate
Okay.
compliance report.
Right,
To submit to the state, you're supposed to put them together
okay,
and submit. So we, right now, are unaware of what the state is going to want.
okay.
So they're gonna have to issue an extension most likely because it won't get done
Okay.
in time.
South Senate person.
In that area,
Cameras.
Kansas, yeah.
On the potential front, which I do think you're right, anticipate that we'll have that finding. It comes back to that discussion that we've had as a board from time to time and in offshoot groups, of the really unique relationship that Grand County School District has with like Beacon and mentoring, where they're fiscally independent, but financially dependent, and it's a really weird umbrella and relationship and how that reports. So looking at cleaning up that relationship would alleviate
This issue.
this issue. So it's unfortunate because it's gonna result in deeper dives, which I'm sure you guys are excited about, like I'm excited about, for the next few years, but it's something that, we can absolutely learn from and try and straighten that out.
And can I see your question? Is the 400,000, from the, like nutrition program, is that mostly unpaid balances?
No, it's more than that. It's the overall management of that program that we've been working on gradually cleaning up the last couple of years that I've been here. I don't know what was going on before, but yeah, we're aggressively collections is definitely an area that we're looking at. What we purchase as far as supplies, how we can do that more effectively, and how we can manage those supplies. It's a number of things that right now Jerry and Sarah are working really diligently on that closely. So I anticipate that number to go down going forward.
That's on page 44 if you want to do a little bit more detail of that. Whether you want to do that now or later, just that there is a separate report on the food services that shows you the money coming in and the money being spent. So you can see there is just an overspend currently of that program. But that's page 44 is one of those.
Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else? that might be the shortest audit presentation I have sat through in my career, so.
Yeah.
Trying to just, get to it and let you guys move on. As President said, it's riveting, I know.
Yes.
This is more than Jordan School District I was at last night, and they only had by the time I got up, there were only like 5 people left in the audience. So this is like a packed house.
Thank you, Kyle, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
Yeah, thank you. Here's just another extra. We gave you 8.
You don't
just in
want to
case,
take
so-
one for the road?
Oh, we've got plenty.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next is on our agenda is Alex Zions, but he's delivering apples. So he will push him back. He's got apple heart.
We're gonna push that back until he joins us. We'll let him talk about apples.
Yeah, he can talk about it now.
There we go.
I like- We deliver Christmas apples, Thanksgiving. All right, high reliability schools information. Superintendent. We'll discuss HRS survey results.
So
and the
just
next steps.
keeping the board abreast of where we're at. I've attached the individual survey results for you guys to review. That was step 1. Step 2 is meeting with our certifier and consultant from Marzano. We do that via Zoom. It's a 70-minute, somebody correct me, 75 75-minute webinar where we go through and analyze the results of that and really focus on what we need to prove and what we need to improve as we go through this process. Kind of a theoretical starting point for us as a team was anything below 3.5 on that is an area that we needed to look at. Not necessarily that we needed to improve on, but that we needed to look at to make sure that 1, is it something that we need to improve on? Or 2, is it a communication piece where we're actually doing something that's not being communicated or how we can better educate on that. We've had 2 of the schools, the high school and the middle school, go through theirs. I found them to be beneficial, and I'll open it up in just a minute for you guys to talk about, focusing on the direction that we're headed on those and really coming away from that with, and we talked about it yesterday in our admin meeting, what we can do in the next 90 days before we'll be meeting again in March with our HRS representatives. What we can do in the next 90 days to be proactive in either providing artifacts for that criteria or really striving on what we're looking at improving. And so as we go through that, we're looking again, both to be certified as a high reliability school, but to also use it to help us make strategic steps to get to where we want to go. And so step 1 being the safe and collaborative culture. That's what we're focusing on. We discussed in our admin meeting yesterday, and I'm going to forget them, not that I didn't write them down in front of me. Communicating was 1, PLC on the collaborative, and the first one was, schedules.
Student centered.
There we go. Yes, Scott, thank you. As far as making sure, one of the questions that came up that I found interesting in that walkthrough, and again, you guys, feel free to jump in, talking about, are we creating schedules with the student's best interest in mind? And if so, how are we documenting that we're doing that? How can we prove that we're doing that? And while schedules look different at all 3 campuses because of the way they're set up, it is an issue at all 3 schedules or all 3 campuses that we can look at and either prove what we're doing and reiterate why we're doing it or look to improve. So that's the direction. And last time we talked today, Holly, you still have not been scheduled at HMK?
Haven't heard from her.
Okay. But the high school and the middle school have gone through step 1 of that webinar and are working in their individual groups
When was that?
to attack those. So,
Did you just do it?
Monday.
and yours was the week before?
Yeah.
So a week ago? So,
Are we gonna get a report on after that? Like, this is what we've identified as, I mean,
I've highlighted 3, but yes.
That's A3, but like, that's very general. I mean, communication is very general.
Right.
So,
Right, so as we're working through this process, we're putting that into the Moodle, which is basically fancy Google Sheet.
No,
Platform.
it's a platform, so
Ugh.
Moodle is like a Google Classroom or a Canvas. It's just a different version of those. The learning is an LMS. Forget what LMS stands for, learning and management system. That high reliability schools has decided to use, so that we have to submit our work to.
We're also putting it in a Google Sheet so that we can share with Nicole and she can update and help.
Correct, so there's two systems that we are submitting to.
And yes, we can report on that as we build that out. That, absolutely, we can include that. in
that
reports.
could be like our, you know,
Request,
quest, yes.
absolutely.
Are the surveys supposed to happen once a year? Is that the idea for?
So these surveys give us a starting point. One of the tools that we can use as we go throughout year 1 is actually now to look at the individual areas that we are targeting, and that's a survey could be a tool to measure if we're growing in that area or not. I know there was some discussion at the high school about possible use of surveys. I don't know. Did you decide on if that was a tool?
I've not decided, no.
So it's an ongoing process.
I just, noted. Just, it just seemed like a lack of response from, from parents.
Correct.
In the secondary schools. So is that something we could work on, like having more lead time or?
So that would be one of the pieces of the communication that we're talking about, parent and community communication.
Yeah.
You know, capitalizing on either using the platforms we have now more efficiently or looking at different avenues to get that word out to try and increase the response, whether it be a survey or a meeting or parent teacher conference. That's all part of the communication piece that we'll go. So
Right. And were the administrators, the 3 administrators at that high school, were they Kari, Tish, and the CTE? Okay.
Was the 3.5 an HRS number they recommended, or was that something internal you decided 3.5?
ooh, a little bit of both. I think in general, in the first survey email we got, it might have been mentioned. Again, that's more of a theoretical number for us, for me, I should say, to help see where we're at. You know, I did discuss that with our certifier, Nicole, and she talked about how, yeah, from a 30,000 foot point of view, that can be a good measurement tool. But if it becomes so large that there's so much that we're working on that because it's below 3.5, we wouldn't be able to efficiently make progress in all of them at the same time. It's just not realistic. So just kind of using that as a starting place and then looking at each one. And there's some that are above 3.5 that we can still, you know, see like there's a disconnect there. Maybe people think we're doing things at a better rate than we actually are. So looking at it, it's just a rule of thumb to kind of a starting place for me. So, and if you guys, if you got a thought on 3.5, or if I'm just living in my own world, that's fine too.
Yeah, because what she said to, like, I know that I'm reading the descriptive statistics calculation about the 3.5, but what she said in our meeting is like, you take your mean, and then you go, okay, we're gonna go work on this, this, and this within your mean, and this, you know, for each individual table.
Mhm.
You know, so yeah, 3.5 is the goal, like eventually we get to that 3.5, but right now, we've gotta start from where we're at somewhere and then hone that focus into a few things and try and do it well and improve it, and then a few more things. And so I would say the descriptor on page 3 in the initial analysis, and that's all connected to the board report tonight, is a good descriptor to sort of like have as a baseline for understanding where the 3.1. Every time I move.
Yeah,
Click.
So the communication piece, it also seemed that, sort of like teachers and staff having ways to provide input was pretty low score? Like, is the communication addressing all facets of communication, not just outward,
So-
but inward?
So, yes and no, yesterday I was primarily focused on the parent community communication piece. But like we talked about on the individual tables, as you go down through that, there are different things that each school has highlighted and working on in that prove or improve basis. So it's a
Correct.
a goal that we're working
One
on.
of the common indicators was kind of communication
Yeah.
to our stakeholders. And how we can improve that.
And I would think that, education is probably some of that, just educating that they are being communicated to, but it's just not getting, understanding the question. I mean, I took the survey at HMK and, I feel like all of them were basically, I don't think I would have known if I was a regular, parent. But the questions seem very geared on communication and safety, right? So, I even think that those goals are pretty set up. They're setting you up for specific goals of communication and safety for your step one.
In line with step one, absolutely.
Do the surveys change as you go up? They're asking different questions, like once you achieve communication and safety,
Once we level up.
and then you will be asked about whatever instruction. And and we might have answered this before. Is it a level? Are schools leveling up, or is it a district level?
The criteria is based on your individual school.
Okay.
Obviously, we're trying to not silo the individual schools. We're doing it as a group, but meeting that criteria for each school to prove,
Mhm.
submitting the artifacts for each individual campus, what we're doing in these areas.
Any other questions? All right, next is review of new policies previously posted for public comment and discussion. So later on, we will be approving these.
Just because I know we have other events going on, like at the high school and things, if you want to jump up to principal reports, when we get into policy, or if we're gonna be quick with policy, that's fine too.
Well, she has she has coverage over there, I think, but I don't know. Unless you want to.
I'm gonna leave by 6:30, for the dress rehearsal for the class.
Oh,
Yeah, but yes, that's the.
Okay.
That's being covered by Josh.
we can move that. Let's move to principal reports.
And just to make sure we're on the same page, this is not one of our quarterly.
Right.
Yeah, we haven't fully implemented that. This is a
That was gonna be
principal
my-
information submitted. And if you have any specific questions.
It's gonna take me a minute because that was like an 80-page agenda. Where am I? Okay. Let's just start. Oh,
I had some like technical, like. At home, I was able to get all four.
That's right, because I'm just seeing
But
two of them.
here,
I agree.
well, so on the, so they're different. So some are attached by PDF and some are linked on the agenda.
Okay, so that's the difference.
That's the difference. So if you
So
want
just
to,
go to the where.
if you go to the main
body.
agenda and click
Oh,
on, that's the difference. I don't know why that is, Nishay. Can you
Oh.
give us a,
I can tell you, because,
Oh.
2 are attached as PDF documents and 2 are attached as links. Wait, did you just say that? You did?
I just was wondering why.
Different formats.
Okay.
She wanted to
Or
be
you
clear.
may explain. Oh, thank
Whoa.
you for that.
Whoa.
Whoa, you are the one. Okay. We'll just do the high school report first. The other thing is, it's more, I can't tell you how to make that bigger.
Oh, I just
Yeah.
zoom in. on my-
Oh, here.
You can see
Ability.
Go to
You can-
accessibility.
Oh, accessibility. Well,
Maybe
Oh,
not.
and you can go to accessibility and make it like 100% bigger.
Oh, the enrollment, there's also the.
Tab, there's this share link and an accessibility link, make it large.
I did it.
Yeah, and that didn't work.
Also, there's like, if you hover over the picture. Like the enrollment thing.
Oh,
Well, but there's
Oh, I
also
see
like
it.
there should be a thing that
So
pop
I-
out. Yeah.
in that little box.
Oh, this
That-
box right here?
Yeah, I was able to.
Ah,
Yeah,
thank you.
I did it at home to make it bigger.
I just clicked on it. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are not our presentations, but are there any questions? We have enrollment. We have attendance.
Great, and then if you click on the link, this is number one, GCHS enrollment and attendance, you can see prior year's data.
Where?
It's.
Just keep scrolling, keeps,
Oh, enrollment.
it's in pink, right there.
Oh,
It's
these,
not-
yeah. Thanks.
And then there's just, I don't know, a few slides that just have, you can see that 2023-24 we had 452 kids, 24-25 474, and this year 486. So we're one of the only schools in the district that's growing in enrollment.
Are you, how is attendance, calculated? One class missed is gone, like, cause.
No, my understanding is calculated, and we have this question all the time, right, with Power School. My understanding is calculated by hour, because it's average daily membership, but it's calculated by hour. So if a kid's missing, what shows on attendance is if a kid misses 5 hours a day and they miss 10 days in a row, well, they have to be exited, but anyway, that's gonna be, 50 absences. It's gonna look like 50 absences for the kid, but they really only have 10 absences. However, it's 50 times that they missed each different hour.
Mhm.
And then the interesting part, kind of like about just breaking apart the data, is if you look at the next slide, it's our 2026 attendance by grade average of 90.32% as of 10/31. That's a report straight out of Power School. But then you look at the next report straight out of Power School for overall attendance for 2025. Our total overall attendance was 87.8. And so it's not, we're not faking that. We have pretty darn good attendance. I think that the teachers are really dysregulated over that 12.2% that they don't have, because those are the kids that they're trying to track down or trying to figure out why they're not showing up, or, they're giving them credit, even though, all of these things. And so, but when we look at it, it's our overall attendance is really good. And then the next slide is the average daily attendance for the year for 2022 or 2023, 24, and 25. 88%, 88.47%, 87.8%. So our attendance hovers over 85%. Our average daily attendance hovers over 85%, which I heard a report on some news channel this weekend with the lady Ben Love, who's doing this attendance campaign across the state, and hers statistic was we have a 64% average daily attendance across the state for students. And so it's no wonder that people keep reaching out and saying, what are you guys doing? Because it looks like you have good average daily attendance. I don't ever respond, because I'm kind of are they just trying to trick us? And then they're going to use us as an example of some this, that, or the other, and you never know who's reaching out. But anyway, I think it's important to note that we have really good average daily attendance. I think it's because kids in our community don't have a lot of other social outlets. And so they use school sort of as a social outlet. So for those who don't feel that anxiety going to school every day, they have a good time coming to school. It's their first social interaction.
And as just of note on those comments, and even just talking about how those absences are calculated. That is one of the big pushes that the legislature is using right now, especially with like Senator Fillmore's bill about attendance. Basically, they're saying they don't trust the data coming out of any school district because it's confusing and ambiguous and all the challenges that we're talking about. Even looking at this, so that's why you're seeing a lot of that, and it is a statewide trend as far as being that concern over attendance.
Well, and I can see that argument just if they're doing like Aspire, and maybe, I don't know about Barstool, but in Aspire, I remember there were probably 20 different reasons why somebody could be absent. Like there were codes A through Z, right? And so is it still that way? And so it can be a little confusing. I mean, to me, there should be
More consistency.
more or less options. Like,
Oh.
you know, we don't need to know, you're either excused, not excused, for an activity. I mean, what else?
Medically.
Medical.
Bereavement.
Yeah.
Then you start adding them. But you know, do you know if these are activities are not included in these absences? I would think it'd be a lot higher, but maybe not.
I would have to investigate that. Previously, activity excuse was excluded from this.
Okay.
Every other type of excuse was not excluded from average daily attendance.
Could we look at reporting our graduation data as the state does, like for all 4 years, instead of just like.
We do, I think it's important to note though, that, the seniors that we start with, this is how many of them were getting over the finish line, right? We could look at how the state reports it, but we don't we have so many students who enroll and unenroll. We have a very transient population. To track that, we'd have to track every single kid that enrolled freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, senior, and then ensure that whatever happened with them, if they were considered a dropout, then we could calculate them, right? But if they transfer to another school for us, they're not considered a dropout. And so we do track that. It's just that the kids that we don't track are the kids who enrolled and then went somewhere else. If they go somewhere else, we actually count them as transferring to somewhere else. But if they don't graduate from there, that may count against us, that may not. If they go to adult ed and they don't finish, that may count against us, that may not. And which is why I put all that convoluted stuff in that information. But certainly.
So the state is the state figuring that out when they're tracking them?
Correct.
And we don't give them that information.
Well, and something that I am confused about from the state is sometimes they'll say we're reporting this 7-12, and other times they say we're reporting this 9-12. So I'm not even sure whether they're calculating the students who enrolled in 7th grade but didn't make it through the finish line on 12th grade, or the students who enrolled 9 through 12.
I think this argument plays into the arguments that you're seeing right now about why the legislature does not trust our graduation rates. And I don't even know, I'm not saying it's a district problem. It very well could be they don't know what they want to look at or how to find it. But there definitely is question, again, concern statewide coming out of the legislature about graduation rates because of the difficulties we're talking about right now.
There's two different numbers in the 2 different laws about the tracking about graduation. And one says 7 through 12 and the other says 9. So yeah, we could, and we could spend the time and effort to make sure if the student enrolls with us, like we had several students enroll with us from other countries in the beginning of the school year, and now that the season's dying down, they're unenrolling and going somewhere else. Great, it happens. I mean, our in and out, our door is like, the kitchen swinging door, right? And that's okay. The kids who transfer to another school and we know that school, we can identify it, they don't count against us. the kids who we don't know, their parents, they just leave town because they don't know the process. They don't, when someone enrolls, we don't go, and if you're gonna unenroll before the end of the school year, you have to do X, Y, Z, because we just hope they're going to be there.
What I see is the problem is that, here you are reporting 98% graduation rate, right? And then when our number comes out from the state, it's a completely different, it's a lower number. And then that makes us look disingenuous, low transparency, the legislature. I mean, that's what I think that to me, that's kind of what you're saying, right? Of like, we have these two different numbers. You shouldn't report it 98% if the
Yeah.
state's gonna say it's not. And so how do we or a cover, like,
I agree.
when you say 98%, but I don't know, there's gotta be some how to
Explain the difference.
explain the difference, which then goes back to HRS communication. I mean, to me, like,
Mhm.
it seems bizarre, because I talk to people all the time and like, well, these are the state numbers, say this,
Correct.
and you're saying it's 98%, like,
Well, it's actually
Who's
all
lying
described
here?
in the slide here, like, this is how many seniors we had, this is how many students, this is who did what, this is how many students actually graduated, therefore equaling a 98% graduation rate, but of the 111 students who did graduate, 16 of them came out of SCSD, but the state hasn't published the 2025 rate. However, they do the calculation over the course of all 4 years. So I'm not boasting a 98% graduation rate. I do think that this is the number that Superintendent McFall said, I want you to publish the graduation rate for those seniors who started with you in the beginning of the year and those seniors who finished. And so what we have here at 98% is the seniors who started with us in 2024 and walked through that G in 2025. That's the 98%. We know that there were almost 27 additional freshmen who come and gone. Not all of them we can account for exactly where they've gone. And so those are the ones that are going to count against us in the end. Bottom line at the end of the day is we can't deny someone's enrollment where we're required to provide a free and appropriate public education for anybody who enrolls, regardless of their status or whether they're going to stay or not. And so I don't want to boast a 98% graduation rate, but 98% of those kids that started with us in 2024 got through that G in 2025. And I think that's something that we shouldn't maybe it shouldn't be the graduation rate. Maybe it should just be 98% of the students who started us
Yeah.
right.
walk through the G and get rid of the graduation rate.
Or senior success rate.
Exactly, right, yeah. So I can certainly do that, change the graduation rate to senior success rate.
And I do think that you will see direction from the legislative session following the sixth legislative session about attendance and about graduation rates, and then we'll then have to take it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't track somebody, you can't track somebody. It should be late because you don't know. I mean.
But then they aren't counted for. I mean, you report that if we don't know where they went.
Yeah, I don't know if there's
We
any.
don't get it. We don't get, if they just leave and don't unenroll.
Right.
That is on us.
Yeah, until we get a transfer of something from
Right,
another
but
school.
if we never get anything, that's on us.
Yeah.
It's we
They
did
count
graduate
against our
them.
graduation rate.
Right, well then I
But
guess you
now
just
they-
report that. I mean,
We do. We work really hard to ensure that we track everybody down, mostly because they're one-to-one on the Chromebooks, right? So they have a device worth $350 plus the charger, right? And so if they're in the 10-day drop status, regardless of whether they're a freshman or a senior, we are working hard to get in touch with those parents. Hey, where's your kid? What's happening? They're almost a 10-day drop, those kind of things. Because this can count against us whether they drop out in 9th grade and come back in 10th grade, which they do all the time, or they drop out senior year. It doesn't matter when they drop out, and possibly 7th and 8th grade dropouts count. It's questionable. Yeah. So I changed that to senior success rate, as you can see. And we'll use that language.
We can only control what we control. If they leave in 9th grade and we don't know,
I
It's
just,
not it's not ours.
sure, but I think that to clarify what that is, the state is
Yeah,
saying
I
graduation rates and
understand. I do,
that's what
but-
we're reporting.
Well,
Mhm.
and the news to highlight here is 73.4% graduation rate in 2022. Congratulations, Grand County High School staff, 85.2% graduation rate in 2024. And I only anticipate that the graduation rate will be better in 2025. But they have to release the report card, which actually has a lot of stuff in this report that the report card has not been released yet. So.
I had a couple of questions about thank you for including the common lit data.
Yeah, the teachers wanted you to have the individual data because they wanted you to see that this is the teacher view.
Yeah.
They can't manipulate it. So they get what they get per class.
So what, like, for the AP lit, like, why was only
Only one student tested. I mean, her information back to me was attendance. She has
Okay.
8 students in the class. I don't know if the
Okay.
2 days that she gave the test, literally only that one student was there. She'll tell you attendance.
In AP Lit,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, and then like the 12th grade US class is that. I was a little surprised at the
I
percent
know.
proficiency. I
I
mean, because
know.
it's a college class.
Correct.
Does that mean their common lit 12th grade was? But it's still like the 12th grade common lit, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And Common Lit does test the end of the year testing, right? So you can see that, I would ignore the data that 100% of her AP Lit class, because only one student took it. So she got lucky, it was a good student. But when you look at the USU data, 27% of the students who are in the USU concurrent enrollment class tested proficient in reading, right? And these are the kids who have 3.0 or better. If they're juniors, they have a 3.5 or better, right? Like these are our high-end, very high-end
I mean,
performers.
this data, I mean, if you are able to compare, it just looks like 9th grade, oh, it's okay, 10th grade's, not great, but it just seems like it's, like from this data, I don't know what you can extrapolate from it, but.
Well, you can certainly see the 9th grade basic
seems like
reading
people
class,
are
0% proficient.
Yeah.
That's why they're in basic reading,
Right.
And it lines up with the proficiency leaving 6th grade.
And this is the mid-year, that was the 9th grade basic. Like,
Amazing, right? This is why they need the basic reading.
but they took it also in the beginning of the year. So there was no improvement. It's,
Well, this is the data that they have and
Yeah.
the improvement data is they only have per student. So I didn't want them to include any student stuff. They really wanted you to see that there's limited information on what the teacher can get. Even though they chose Common Lit, certainly the language arts department would prefer to go back to math testing. Because they got a clearer picture and it's broken down by standards. So they would not cry if we went back to math testing. Our big thing is that you pay the money to implement it content area. You can't just pick and choose like language arts, right? And so we'd have to get all of the departments to implement with fidelity. I just don't know that we're there as a secondary group. So Common Lit is what it is.
I think we could shut the door.
Is it what we're told?
Well, my feet are cold.
Yeah, okay.
They asked me to sit
Lay back.
back.
Any more questions from Kari? Because she has to leave.
before you leave, Kari, I don't know, I mean, I looked at your report, Carrie. And there's a lot of information there. I don't know if you can compare Rise to Aspire, but that's what I did. Just because, like with your information, it's I mentioned that our work session sort of the present 11th graders, their math scores last year Aspire Plus. So you had some information from 2022 to 2023. And so, those kids sort of had a similar score to what they have in Aspire, just a very low proficiency rate. So that's 3 years that they haven't really improved. So, yeah, I guess I would like maybe more information from the math. Or what, sort of what's being focused. And I know the standard, like, no, hopefully we'll see better results because of the standards. Is that,
Yeah,
okay, is that fair to say? Okay.
and the focus is for them is definitely on like, curriculum and instruction,
Yeah.
delivery and assessment,
Mhm.
so that we can improve our performance, But I am sure that if I ask the math department to come and talk to you guys about what's going on and why they're doing what they're doing and how they're using their data to effectively improve student performance, they would be happy to attend a board meeting, as long as I gave them prior proper notice,
Right.
and explain what's going on, especially if you wanted to do that math, language arts, and science.
Yeah.
In different nights. Because that would be a lot. But to answer your question, I mean, the assessment director is right here. I don't think that you can fairly compare Aspire Plus to Rise. But I think looking at the trends in the data, like at what point did this class of 2027, which I think you're talking about the juniors today,
Yeah.
at what point and within, all of these things that were happening within schools, did those scores drop off? I can tell you.
Or not improved.
Or not improved,
Yeah.
and because I think that would, there's a crux behaviorally with this anomaly of this like 11th grade class, right? That I remember from being at HMK. Like these kids couldn't walk through the hall. Like one fundamental rule was you come in from recess and you're quiet. And we used to have to stand outside and be like, shh, because the kids in the front of the line would come in and could be quiet. But by the end of the line, like every day, the kids just couldn't control themselves. So I think that there's probably some fundamental learning acquisition that already was kind of disrupted with this 11th grade class, and then you added COVID, and then, and so it would be interesting data wise to just kind of go, well, when did this become like usual trend versus, ooh, right.
All right. Middle school questions?
I just had some. Yeah. Observations.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Is it she's not looking?
So, Harry, I mean, I click on sort of the Rise summative data. um, There's a lot there. But so Carrie, thank you. I like this kind of information.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to me like, I love the 3-year comparison. And then the 8th grade science Rise scores are nearing the state average, which is, or
They're above
higher,
state
yeah, they're higher, yeah. And then, yeah, that was interesting, and 7th grade is far below the state average, but going up.
Very close.
Yeah, yeah. And then, yeah, I just, yeah, and same with the ELA, like getting, I mean, you can see the improvement.
And the only reason, and I meant to type this out, but of course, as I was putting it in there, the only reason they don't have a chart with it, a graph, is because they changed in 2022, 2023, and 23, 24. They had like the scores were in the 800s, like that's how they did it. And then this last year they jumped it up, they changed the way they scored it, and they put it in like the thousands.
Right.
So it wasn't fair to create a graph like that, because then it would have showed a huge jump. And so I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do that.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but with math, it seems like we're pretty far below state.
We are below it,
Yeah.
but seventh grade is doing pretty good.
Yeah, they're going up, yeah. Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay. HMK. Any questions? Observations? Okay, moving on.
Can I share one? thing
Oh,
to
yes,
add
please.
to the board report, because I just kind of got it.
Mhm.
So one thing that Nurse Mary reported to me is we had our we had a vision clinic, and then we also had BYU come down and do a clinic in October. And we had over 400 kids that consented for fluoride varnish, and then we had, gosh, I can't remember what she told me. It was a pretty significant amount that they were able to like identify and do the early prevention on. And then she also had about 42 kids that were scheduled for that vision clinic, and of those, they were able to get glasses for quite a few of them. So, I just wanted to share that. That was really important.
Your template is very easy to zoom in on and.
Oh, it's because it's a
Different.
PDF.
Yeah,
Because it's PDF.
Yeah.
I do appreciate though, you're just outlining all of your plans. You got all that, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I didn't have as much data, so I figured
Yeah.
on the in-between, so we
Yeah.
have the data, then
Uh-huh.
I just felt like.
These are our
recording what we are doing
strategies. These are
To
good.
address the data we have.
That's good. And Carrie, your campus improvement plan too, was great to have there. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Alex has joined us.
Wait, we got one more.
Oh, no, preschool, sorry.
Preschool.
Jumping around. Sorry, Alex, I was trying to get you in. Jumping the gun.
Any questions on preschool or special ed?
Is that still proceeding apace, sort of a moving?
That would be I think,
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna tell you also for Rise, I mean, Utah Aspire Plus and Rise. This year will be the last year of Utah Aspire Plus in the high school, the 9th and 10th grade, the following year, so the spring of 2027, the next spring, not this coming spring. It's gonna change over to Rise. So Rise will go from 3 through 10th grade. So just so you know, then it'll correlate better as far as, because right now you can't compare one score to the other because they're two very different.
but still change. That's the other, that.
So, but
They're
it'll
just
just,
annoying that they're like.
it'll be nice though that
Yeah,
it's all the
we
way,
should have done
like
that.
the data for the teacher will be all the same, so.
It'll be easier.
It'll be easier to,
Historically.
yeah,
Mhm.
it'll be just so much nicer. So, and again, we don't have a lot of data right now, at least, so.
All right. Alex, now you're up. Alex Rosines is here to talk about the bond refunding. And the progress. The progress?
Is it spelled wrong?
No.
So yes, Alex is here to report on where we're at with the bond refunding progress. We did go out and get a bond rating. It was a good experience and I think it went well. Things have been moving quick and rapid since then. We did get that rating back about a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Monday afternoon.
So I'll just turn it over to him to give you a quick, I did attach the bond rating presentation for the board to look at just in case you wanted to, because it's just dynamic and
Yeah, 47 pages.
amazing. Go ahead, Alex.
Great, thank you, Matthew, for that introduction. I'm Alex Buxton with Zion Bank Public Finance, and I work as the municipal advisor to the district. And just like Matthew mentioned, we recently went and secured a bond rating from S&P. And board member Williams and Superintendent Kais and Jerry, the four of us went and met with S&P. We did a lot of prep beforehand and put together a nice presentation that they actually gave. I was just there just to kind of introduce the bonds themselves, and then the three representatives from the district provided that presentation, did an excellent job, represented the district very well. And as a result of that, as Superintendent Kais just mentioned, we did get back a A+ rating from S&P, which is a very good investment grade rating. So we were on the phone, in fact, this morning with our underwriter, Bank of America, and they were very excited to know that the district had received that A+ rating, which helps them in marketing the bonds and then eventually selling the bonds, which we currently have scheduled the first week of December. We may push that meeting, that sale to the second week of December. We're still working that through the underwriting desk at Bank of America. But we will be closing the bonds prior to the holidays, somewhere between the 16th and 18th of December is when we're going to close the bonds. So the market is looking good. We feel like we're in a good position, again, with that very, very good rating from S&P, that we should have a very successful bond sale, and we'll be able to save quite a bit of taxpayer money as far as the new interest rate on the bonds. So, a couple of highlights with respect to the presentation, and then my conversations with S&P afterwards, and then the write-up that report that you all will get or have received. They felt like the management is really well and strong. So credit to you as a board and to Superintendent Kais as well. They also love the fact that you had very healthy reserves. Your finances are in good order. So credit to Jerry as well. I don't see Jerry here, but I know she's worked a lot with Superintendent Kais on that. They wish that the economy wasn't so centralized around tourism, but that's totally out of your control. So that's the one area of the rating criteria that the school district itself really has no control over. So anyway, I recommend you read through the report. Once again, we're very happy with it, and very proud of the district. And if Kathy or Superintendent Kais wants to add anything about that experience, go ahead. But I think it really was, it was a really good exercise for them and probably for the district as a whole to really get into the weeds of how your district is run. And I mean, there's a lot of focus on the finances and a lot of focus on management and outstanding debt. And so it's always a good way to really understand how things are going with your district. And then when you get a rating from an independent third party and they come back very favorable, it should make the board feel really good, and your taxpayers and citizens feel very good that the district's in good hands and things are moving in the right direction. So happy to answer any more questions or any questions about that, or where we go from here with respect to the refunding of the bonds. But we're right in line with where we wanted to be when we started this process a couple of months ago, and we're excited to sell bonds here after the Thanksgiving holiday.
I would just echo Alex in the fact that it is a great professional development opportunity to kind of dust off what your knowledge about the inner workings of the district and how that applies with the economy. Kathy gave a portion of the presentation on the economy, and to look into some of those things and to just refresh on the correlations, just have an overall better understanding of how the different pieces of the district work, as a system. in the systems level whole type thing. I found it to be very rewarding. I know Jerry did as well. I think I can speak for.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, for me, it was just learning how the process does work and getting, going and getting the credit rating, which then gives us, is how they determine what the interest rates are gonna be and, I guess, the safety of the bonds and such. So it was really, I learned a lot about the whole process.
To Kathy's point, the higher the credit rating that you get, the lower the interest rate is, because the investors on the bonds look at that as, hey, it's really good credit, and so it's less risky. And so they're gonna lower the rate. And so that's why what we get as far as a rating is so important, because it really directly impacts the amount of savings we're gonna get when it comes time to selling the bonds. So thanks for mentioning that, Kathy.
I thought it might be more stressful than it was, but the most stressful part was the traffic. We had some interesting traffic,
California traffic it's rough.
but
A little scary. We're not used to that here in the lab.
I'm heading back there in 2 weeks with the Weaver Fire District, so I'm gonna be heading back into that traffic.
any other questions?
With the report that you referred to, are we gonna get that report?
That was emailed, the email that you received
Oh.
today was sent to you.
Was it sent to me?
Yeah, they actually sent it to you as the board president, but then I forwarded it along to superintendent and to Jerry.
Who was it from?
It was from S&P Global, is the rating agency.
No, I just gonna talk to Melissa. Okay.
Yeah.
S&P, sorry, I think I'm probably actually saying S&P, but I should be saying S&P.
Okay. S.
Standard report?
Yeah,
And-
they used to go by just Standard and Poor's, and they've since in the last 10 years or so trimmed that down to S&P.
When was that sent?
S&P.
Oh, there it is.
And you can send that out to the board.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll put it back in
You
my
know, I make
box.
tons, so I just
Sure.
kind of mix it.
Oops.
I also
Oop.
say mountain. It's a
You gotta give me
mountain,
a
right?
a heads up that was important.
I was gonna talk to you about it, so.
Okay.
The presentation I can't get.
No, it's not loading. I noticed it was fully loading.
Oh, really?
It loaded earlier, but maybe our.
Oh, did
Internet is
you
really
send the presentation as well?
I just shared it.
You
with
should
my
put it-
board.
Yeah. I think that's, and the information that was put into that presentation was provided to us by Superintendent Kais and Kathy and Jerry, and then we pulled a lot of the information too. So there really was a lot of work that kind of goes into that. And anyway, I appreciated the three of them, the effort they put in, and then the willingness to go. It's, takes a couple days out of your life to go do that, but I think it was well worth it.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? And I do have a box of apples.
What is that?
Normally I would pass out some chocolate covered nuts.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's the one time a year that we provide a healthy treat. It's our Thanksgiving apples or Christmas or holiday apples, whatever. And so I'm gonna leave those here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, my internet's bang on. Agenda. Okay, oh yes, policies. So review of new policies previously posted for public comment, discussion. The board will review and discuss the new policies from USBA for 2025. These policies were previously posted on the district website for public comment. So this would be our third reading of these. DAHA, DKF, DMBA, ECL, EFE, EHC, FDACG, FDD, D, E, F, G, F, G, M. And we did have a question about the additives. The FDEB prohibited food additives. Jerry emailed me, she talked to Sarah, and she said there were 2 breakfast cereals that had these additives to it.
And that's it. Okay.
That's all, yeah, so I think that
So
it's,
the board has the ability to adopt that policy. Like I said, the conglomerate that we purchased through, I don't foresee it having a tremendous impact, and currently it is only the 2 cereals.
yeah.
So, or the board can decide to, because we can exempt out, we can't exempt out, but that's for your discretion.
So then it would be, if we were going to approve the policy as is, we'd have to remove those 2 cereals
Mhm.
from breakfast.
Mhm.
So,
Not and adhere to it in sport.
Mhm.
They get rid of fruit loops.
I can't imagine I know what it is.
Oh,
Whatever
they
it
are,
may.
I think they are.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Does anybody have, I'd say keep it in if it's not gonna cause a complete meltdown of the.
I mean, we later to
Purchasing.
opt out, though.
Well,
Yeah, we
pass
can always-
it.
We could retire the policy.
We can, okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty easy.
The other policy on here that I mentioned, and I made a note for, to remind myself, is the pathway to graduation, focused pathway to graduation. So this is the state model policy. It mirrors the policies, or it mirrors a policy that Kari and our former CT director, Kate Finley, had been working on. So out of that work may come some suggested modifications to this policy. So what I'm looking at today with the board is, I don't have a problem if we approve this, knowing that we might be adjusting it in the future, depending on how that plays out. Just to have it passed currently, to be in compliance, or taking it off tonight and circling it back and bringing it back around when they can flush it out. Whatever, either each option has pros and cons. I just wanted to point that out, that there was some work done in this direction that I wasn't previously aware of until just recently.
Want to make a recommendation, superintendent?
I think I would recommend that we approve this policy,
Okay.
and then if we need to make adjustments to fit our needs or get clarification. But this is a good starting place.
I think that's what we'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other comments, questions about those policies listed? Yeah.
Can I ask a question? So in the food drive policy, it says that I would have to obtain permission from students' parents at the beginning of the year to have snack provided. So like in kindergarten, we ask for like bulk snack, and it says, if with this thing, it says, a student's parents may provide students with such food during the school day, and a teacher may provide students with such food if the teacher obtains permission from the student's parents. So this is going to make it a lot harder, the food policy one.
Yeah, and that kind of goes also back to the food policy question that Holly,
Same thing.
those snacks are actually should be being vetted,
But this also would be like birthday treats.
which is also part of that,
Yeah.
thing but Holly sent out the policy the wellness policy, that we would be following anyway as well. So, I mean, I will
I guess as a
take
teacher, I'd
recommendation of,
obtain.
how it works with the wellness policy. We want to table that to have better discussion with your admin.
I mean, and we could definitely table and have better discussion. It is not out of the realm of what we are supposed to be doing with our wellness policy right now.
Right.
So we may not have, like you just pointed out, systems in place, but we probably should and need to be working in that direction. So if.
That are
or-
federal guidelines from the wellness
Or the state. So,
state.
it's not, yeah, I don't see it. We may not be following our own policy in that area right now. I don't see this as being another lift outside of that policy, but if we want to have that discussion as administrators, or you've had the most recent experience in it. We can,
You want to review the additive policy with the wellness policy and see if those two align? Does that
I mean, we can do that.
I think
absolutely.
that's the thing. Nishay?
I would like to make a comment as a parent.
That way you moved over there.
About this policy.
About the additives policy?
So as a mother of a kindergarten student who has lunch at around 10:45 in the morning and is then expected to be in school until 2:45, it is a little ridiculous to expect that the child is not going to have any sort of snack from 11.
I don't think
until-
that's not this policy though.
But that is in regards to what Melissa is talking about.
She's saying
With
that there's a
that being
list of
provided.
policy, yeah, that it would put a
Burden.
burden on the teacher to figure out which
They
snacks.
can have a snack.
If
It
the
just
snacks
can't be a.
they've got to be vetted in a different way. That's the
The
burden.
snacks can have the food additives.
I don't know, is that true?
I don't
Am
think it can on the policy.
Is it-
The policy, yes, it says-
Or it has to
They
be
can.
cleared with, it has to be cleared with the other.
So I think, let's take it out, let's put it on the plate of Matt and Holly to figure out, and Sarah. To see if there's an easier, or if what we're doing exactly.
Yeah,
How they
in
align.
addition, a student's parent may provide students with such food during the school day. So any
But not
parent
for the
can
class.
bring in.
Just for the
But
student.
for the class,
For your
like you would
student.
bring
Yeah.
it,
Where
you know,
the
cupcakes. for-
where one of the overlaps that we're seeing happen though, that may or may not be up to the scene, is parent providing that snack for that student, and then that student sharing with.
Right.
Right.
Which is against the policy, but.
You're right, this doesn't cover, birthday.
Or a teacher provides students with such food because it would be the parent bringing in the food and then the teacher distributing it to all the kids. And I guess you can't do that unless
have it added.
unless you get permission from all the other parents that your kid can have these
Additives.
additives.
Well, that's only the teacher, but I mean, the way this reads, a student's parent may provide students, it doesn't say may provide their own student, may provide students with such food during the day. I mean, that to me reads, they could bring in something for a birthday.
How we defer to-
I think working through that a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna pull it.
Make that note for the motion, if there's a motion.
Can you tell me what is
FDEB.
Brownies.
FDEB?
FDDB.
All right, next, review of policy changes regarding certified and classified discussion. The board will review the policies from USBA that have changes in reference to the terms certified and classified employees. So we had talked about the with acronyms. ESP. So there are changes in these. BDAB, BLA, CGA, DBBN, DBDN, DGAN, DHC, and DKBA, where we have needed to change certified and classified to either staff or
So
ESP.
with those terminology changes, There were 6 that involved negotiated policies that the board has negotiated with. 3 of those are represented here tonight for approval because the terminology change didn't substantially change anything in that policy. You can see there's a footnote there that 3 policies were left off, DAHN, DHBN, and DKC. And because the terminology change within the way that we have tweaked those policies for negotiation, we got really messy. I don't know that it separately changed anything, but it made it really messy. Since those policies are negotiated and it is a bigger change, I pulled those off. So the policies that are on that list are just the policies where the change in terminology from certified to educational support professional or just employees does not materially change the policy. Does that make sense?
Yes. All right, any discussion on these? All right. Moving on. The review of policies with non-substantive steps. I always cannot say this word, substantive changes. Discussion. The board will review policies. These should have non-substantive syllable in there. Citations, date, minor word changes. This is the second reading of these policies.
On this same thing, there was one policy that we had not a negotiated policy, but it's a policy that we had massaged to fit our needs that I pulled off because the site changes in our language made for it quite a bit of change. Citation changes made for quite a bit of change. And then also there are 2 on there. I know one is FF. I have that remember that, and the other one is E.
Was there the one that you guys were talking about, the FGAD,
No,
that you decided wasn't substantive?
no,
that was
he's just
substantive?
talking about the ones that he added a P to.
No, I can't find the other one because I didn't write it down. Oh, it's EVA. Term of instruction, school year, red line. Those are ones that we had changed where I could go in and just simply switch out citations.
What was it?
and
What was the
dates.
second one you said? E?
EBA.
EDA.
EVA, and they're highlighted on that list with a P and FF. So those are the ones. Again, we did pull that policy. As noted at the bottom, FDACP was removed off of this list because it's going to need some more acute attention. So other than that, these are, and then there are some that, as they're listed right now, do require fill in the blanks. Is that correct, Melissa?
Yeah, I have a list of ones that just need fill in the blanks. And so I don't feel like that would stop us from posting those. They would,
Posting or approving?
oh yeah, we're approving, aren't we? Well, I don't know.
Previously, you guys just put a motion in saying that the links would be filled in.
And then the letter would need to change to P, add the P.
It does me personally, is that
What about FGAD? That move that says we're supposed to seek input for some.
Oh, so FGAD,
Yeah.
that is one that I would like to pull off the approval list. That we need to discuss that, post it. Because it's not non-substantive. It's substantive.
It's substantive.
So FGAD is, needs to be pulled off. And then also EHE. There is an option A and B on that. I guess we just need clarification of which one we are. EHE. 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 Oh, adult education student
Mhm.
participation in graduation ceremonies or adult education student participation in graduation ceremony. Currently, I believe adult education students do not participate in our graduation activities and ceremonies. I don't think so, but I can look.
Oh, they do not.
They do
No, it
not,
doesn't
yes,
say.
so we have options.
They currently do not.
Okay,
That being said, the policy that we are looking at, pathways to graduation that we just talked about,
mhm.
has a clause in that where non-traditional students can participate in graduation ceremonies, not necessarily dictating which ceremony. So if they wanted to have
The new one that Caitlin or that Kari is working on,
the one that we just talked about,
but not the one that we're passing. The one that they're working on.
no, the one that we're passing
Oh,
has that language in it that ties into this.
did you say alternative
So
versus, so that I guess it would be defined as alternative versus adult education.
And being part of a regular graduation.
yeah, so adult education right now, we do not. That being said, alternative students, high school age students can participate.
Well, that's, and so I'm
They're
saying
not
there's a,
adult ed, right?
that they're
They're different than
different.
adult ed.
So adult.
SC or
Adult ed right
SCSC,
now does not participate.
but SCSC is alternative.
If they go through there's a hierarchy of steps to participate, to walk through the G. But the adult ed we have not had, so it would be,
So. These are two different groups.
it would be option A. It would be option A on that.
And I believe, probably Trish, she has approached me to talk about this policy particularly, I'm sure. But didn't talk to me, but just in passing, wanted to talk about that, but
So maybe she may wanna suggest in the future that they can, maybe.
so, but that would be, I would send her
To me.
to you. And then you could present it.
Mhm.
I'm just anticipating the conversation. Okay. Clear of what we're doing? Yeah, Nisha? Okay, so FGAD is off the list. Do I need a motion that says something? to that?
Just don't include it all.
Well, there's a list of 45. We're not gonna be listing out those letters, correct?
We just had
You're
that conversation.
not-
We just
I
had that
know,
conversation.
I know, because there's a reason why you do list those out, because
I think a motion is perfectly okay to have a motion that says, in the general, that we approve the policies as listed on, with the exception of the policies you're taking off,
okay,
And not list all the policies.
and not list all the policies.
Oh, and
Just
the
list the policies. you're
so
taking
if
off.
ever, the other one is DKE, I would like to take off as well. Just because I want some clarification on,
That's the postpartum one, right?
yeah, if it's negotiated. Just on the approval, I mean, we can approve,
These are approving.
yeah. So I don't, they're not just not easy ones.
So you'll pull it just because it might be negotiated, is what you're saying.
It definitely needs another.
Okay. Yeah, so those two,
I was looking forward to reading all those letters.
yeah,
Do that, do that.
yeah.
No, thank you, no.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions, clarifications? Oh, I have that. I'll write two different ones. I got 4 notepads going on.
Yeah, I thought you got that, so you didn't have.
I know.
Mhm.
Okay, board committee reports. Kathy?
No, I mean,
We met as a finance committee.
Yeah,
we did meet as a finance committee. We talked about the bond rating.
Right.
We have a little summary here. Presentation, because I wasn't able to click on
Oh,
it.
well, yeah, no, it is, I'm sure with our, maybe our internet, you'll be able to see it. It was, it was probably 40, 50 pages, but, not all, so.
Yeah.
Superintendent Kais presented, his portion was to present kind of the school district, the health of the school district, the demographics, our population growth and decline. A lot of was on the cybersecurity was a big deal because that's important to people investing because of just risk of, hackers and such. I presented on the Moab economy. A lot of the data came from the city and the Economic Development Committee and the Tourism Committee. So there's a lot kind of on our, where a lot of our where a lot of our property taxes come from as well. So a lot of it's, hotels and motels. And then also our big centrally assessed Mid-America, potash, those things. There was part of my presentation was also talking about the up and coming, like Cane Creek, Echo Canyon, Lions Back, just as presenting as these are going to be, potential property tax increases. So that was talked about. And so that was my component, was just presenting the Moab economy. And then Jerry presented basically our financials and showed, had a lot of same stuff that we see regularly, like our fund balance and how much we, spend on this and that percentages. And so
How many people did you present to? Two.
Two.
And how long did it take typically? I mean,
Hour and a half.
hour and a half, okay.
Part of that was me pontificating about our mission. and
Oh,
how
I'm sure.
passionate we are.
no, it's great. It's good. I think it was important. And so, yeah, so those were the S&P people, and then they take our information, and I'm sure they do their due diligence and do investigation.
Make sure that you're not
Make sure
fibbing.
that we're not fibbing.
Yeah.
And they come
I'm
back
sure.
with this rating, which I think is pretty good. An A+ rating is pretty good. Yeah.
In addition to that, I had the due diligence interview with the underwriter's attorney this morning, where we went over all the nuts and bolts and made sure that
Oh,
we
you did? Okay.
knew what we were talking about and could answer all their concerns and make sure that, we're being forthright in every way. So that was another great experience this morning.
Yeah, Matt presented it to us and I thought, you're gonna do all that? Yep.
Yeah, you had all the questions that you had to have answers to.
Well, I've been going to community council, that's it. Lots of them, they're trying to spend all their money. Uh-huh.
We did have negotiations Monday, and one of the things that we talked about was just the GCEA new leadership. So Judy is, I don't want to put you on the spot, Judy, but she's the new president. Melanie Dolphin is the vice president, Raylan Mason and Deanne Cobb are the secretaries. So we're hopefully going to have a healthy attendance of that from GCEA. And we spent the most of the meeting talking about the educational support professionals, ESPs, and their concerns. The one thing we probably need to start working on, I'm sure you're doing that, is the calendar. And get that going, right?
Yes.
And we talked about, even some of these negotiated policies, we will be acting on them, but GEA and GCEA will be voting on them. But that should go through pretty easily. And then our next meeting will be January 26th.
Can you go over those names one more time?
Oh, yeah, Judy, President, Melanie, Vice President, Raylan Mason, and Deanne Cobb, secretaries.
Thank you.
Superintendent report?
Yeah, it's been busy. We're making good progress in a lot of different areas, whether that's with the bond refunding, which has been a priority, as well as HRS. We had some discussion in our admin meeting about career status and provisional status and the direction that we'd like to see that go within the scope of our policy that has been negotiated. Taking steps there. Given the BA for Jerry as well, we've been working really diligently to knock out some big nasty grants. Jill, I'm looking at you in the back, but got that done, and again, going in the right direction. HMK is getting closer every minute. We're on that very closely. A lot of times, well, as you guys are well aware, the last 5-10% is some of the hardest to make sure you get done appropriately. We do have the state school boards conference coming up in January. That'll be here quicker than you think, so just keep that in mind. And I would like to have some conversation or some direction about the National School Boards Association
When do we need to know that? When do we need to?
yesterday. But no, the early bird is still, we can still get the discount, but
Is it like December 1st or
yeah.
something? Is the early bird?
Yeah, and when are the dates? I'm sorry.
April.
It's in April.
April, okay.
It's in
I
April.
probably have it.
So keep that on your radar. Yeah, I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot. We're looking at a lot of different things.
Oh, sure.
What's the difference between GCEA and GEA?
What's that?
What's the difference between GCEA?
Classified, certified. So
Sorry,
GEA is certified teachers, and then GCA is the education for the US.
Oh,
Yeah.
They're gonna have to change their name to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
GESP.
G.
No, actually, it's still GSEA. That's our union name.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
G-
The classification for our people will be ESP, but it's called it's called SEA. USEA is the name of our association.
But
Or-
Grand County is, we've always,
I know,
GCEA.
but that isn't.
That's not right?
When they send the letterhead, it comes out as different than what we had. So I've been looking at things that says G in front of it. I'd have to talk to Hank about it too, but that is, and I don't know if the name change came recently, but it's.
Well, let us
SEA.
know. Keep us
Okay, I'll
updated
let
on your correct
Okay.
acronyms.
Just, yeah. Yeah, I'm just waiting to learn it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no business administrator report. Getting up the school reports, community coordinator report is attached. Any questions for Jeremy?
Just checking in on there's been some shifts with regards to Office of Indian Education. They were officially switched into the Department of the Interior as well as kind of other shifts from the Department of Education. That group lost had a number of folks lose their positions. The director had left and has now come back, so that's good news. They are functional. They sent out a letter today that kind of just shared that I got an email today from the state representative from OIE, Chuck Foster, who's said, good news, we've got our director back, things are stable. So we'll see what happens with it from Department of Education that are trickling down to Title VI. So in January, we should know more as they would put out great report requests. They have a lot lower staff, but we'll see what happens with that.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, on the consent agenda, we have regular board meeting minutes from October 15th. We have the personnel list, November personnel list. We have financial reports, detailed check register, expenditure report and revenue report in October. We have out-of-state travel. We have 3 of those. We have the Plain Talk Conference for some HMK and HMK teachers and principal.
What is the Plain Talk Conference?
Let's call it a conference.
It's a,
What?
I said the best conference ever.
yeah, it's a big conference in New Orleans. It's mostly literacy based, but they bring in entities from all over that are focused on literacy.
So these two 6th grade teachers and 2 5th grade teachers? Is that right?
1 4th grade, 1 5th grade, 2 6th grade
Okay.
teachers and myself.
Have we been, or not we, have HMK been to that before? I know there's been, is that one that you go to a lot?
Yeah. These are teachers that have never been.
Okay, good.
Lost my meeting.
It doesn't look like, Matthew, you signed your travel.
I didn't sign my own. I don't get to sign off on my own.
Yeah, okay, that's.
Checks and balances in place.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. So wrestling going to Cortez, and then Matt has requested to go to an HRS school summit that he has been they've requested for him to.
They've strongly suggested, so I caved at
Who's
the end.
they?
Our HRS reps that we work with.
Okay, and it will just be you?
It'll just be me down there.
These are the same place with the national, USDA, or the
NSBA.
The NSBA is in San
Yeah.
Antonio,
Any questions about those? I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
There's a second. Dave Bershai makes a motion, Kathy Williams seconds to approve consent agenda as listed on the agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye. That passes 4-0. Okay, action items tonight. We have approval of the audit. Earlier this evening, Squire and Company presented the 24-25 Grand County School District audit report to the board. There is a motion, and I would probably ask one of the audit committee members to make that motion. I'd like permission to come from them.
Well, I will move to approve the audit for 2024-25. No, yeah, 24-25 audit as presented by Squire.
For a second,
I'll second
Kathy Williams makes a motion, Dave Bershai seconds to approve the audit report from Squire Companies for 2024-25 year ending June 30th, 25.
Correct.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes 4-0 with 4 absent. Approval of new policies. New policies from USDA have been posted on the district website for public comment. There have been no comments regarding those policies except for we did have some comment tonight. The board may now vote. Which one was that?
FDE.
FDEB, okay. All right,
I move to approve the new policies DAHA, DKF, DMBA, ECL, EFE, EHC, FDACG, FDD, FGF, and GF.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Dave Beardsley seconds to approve new policies. As she listed, removing FDED. DED was not listed.
There wasn't a second one. There was supposed to be.
Not from that list.
Not from that list.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 That passes 4-0 with Laura Lee absent. All right, approval of policies related to certified and classified employee terminology changes, board review policies relating to certified and classified employee language changes, and we now vote to adopt those are okay, all those, right?
I move to adopt policies BDAB, BLA, CGA, DBB, and DBD, and DGA, and DHC, and DKBA.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jenna Woodbury makes a motion, Kathy Williams seconds to adopt policies as listed on the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes 4-0 with Laura Lee Nelson. All right, this is. Approval of the adoption of policies with non-substantive changes. The board of reviewing the policies with minor citation date wording changes. The board may now vote to approve these move the adoption of these policies with the recommendation of taking out F, G, A. Where is it on this list? F, G, A, D, and D, K, E. I'll accept that motion.
I'll move that we approve the policies with non-substantive citation date, minor wording changes. The board may now vote. We approve that we approve this list minus. Tell me again.
DKE,
DKE,
FGAD.
FGAD.
Thank you. There's a second.
I think.
Dave Risher makes a motion, Jenna Woodbury seconds to approve the policies listed on the agenda minus DKE and FGAD. Any discussion? So I'll just send a list of, there would be slight changes to the other ones, and that's okay. Add P to some and fill in blank. Okay, all those in favor of approving the policies listed on the agenda minus DKE and FGAD. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes 4-0. Orally absent. Okay, communication. Any communication?
I've been enjoying continuing questions on different classrooms.
Happy?
Nope.
Okay. The only communication, Laura Lee is currently working on our meeting schedule. And she's suggesting possibly, and so this could be up to discussion, but trying to hit us, the 3 schools every month. So that would be like a good goal for us all to have. And the list will be, she's working on that, so she did have a.
So one of us will hit, so every school will be hit at least once a month.
By you. Yeah.
Oh, by
By
each of us.
each of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so three site visits
In a month.
in a month.
So you're not doing just meetings?
I do.
Class. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, those are meetings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those would be mostly meetings.
Like a
You
community
could fill in
council
community
or
council.
TLC,
What do we do? Staff
admin.
meetings. There are even some students, you know, if there's some student things, I
Okay.
mean, it's just
Yeah.
kind of just touching base with anything that,
Right.
and the Google Doc has been created. And the principals will have access to that, so they can add things in there that they're like, oh, we're doing, you know, hoop dancing
Yeah.
tomorrow. And you
Yeah.
know, right, so like that would be things, you know.
So it's not just meetings?
Um,
I mean, because I have a cool class that I'm like, oh, the board might want to see this activity.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
add those
Yeah.
cool things,
Mhm.
meetings and cool things.
Demonstration.
Nah, you just want a
Yeah.
boring meeting.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, I want to brag about what my teachers are doing.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so, we also talked about, you know, like even, National Honor Society meetings, or what does Tracy do? You guys call them differently.
No, Honor Society.
Honor Society, you know, Zoom council meet, I mean,
Yeah.
there's tons of meetings, yeah, too,
Mm.
if you get bored. And then we did talk about the other things, okay.
Yeah.
I don't
Sorry.
like this cryptic stuff,
I need to put that on my, I know, I'm sending out a reminder. Friday
Oh.
reminder,
The Friday reminder, okay.
a Friday reminder of our main ones that
Mhm.
has to happen that we,
So the people don't get lost and just wander around the building by themselves.
Well, we talked about that too. We
possibly, and starting, yeah, in January, we might change our Monday times from 1 o'clock to an earlier time.
Right, so you go
Is that gonna work
Rotary and
for you?
such.
He has
It's
a
the same
conflict
day.
Monday. Oh, o'clock.
on
Site
site
visit.
visit.
You know, we always do it at 1.
That's why I wasn't there. I had
Earlier.
Rotary and I had a bunch of people there. It was very difficult. I did get there 15 minutes, so that was quick. I did
Yeah.
a fast morning.
So that, we're gonna be talking about changing that time
Okay.
from 1 o'clock to earlier. Okay, advanced planning. Y'all are welcome to leave or stay for advanced planning. We have a regular board meeting, that's tonight. I won't let that. Okay, Thanksgiving break, there's no school, for that week. That district wide, however, that is different for 12-month employees.
They have to work Monday, Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, I think so, whatever we. The agenda planning meeting is the 3rd of December, holy cow.
I would be out of district, but I know Colin.
Well, you're kind of the main guy. Are you gonna be all, should we just move it? Or do you want to do it via Zoom? Easier.
No, if we could do it on the. Thank you. We could do it in a second, probably at that same time.
Isn't it agenda plan on Monday? Or is it Tuesday? Wednesdays?
So-
Wednesdays? There is Wednesday. There is a Wednesday, gosh.
So if we could move that to,
Well. You can't. That's why we do it. What about Monday? That might not be the best.
Not available Monday.
Okay. Would you rather do, I'm looking at you.
Remarkable.
So it's either Matt has to zoom into our agenda planning meeting on Wednesday, or he can be there on Tuesday. But you're not available Tuesday.
Yeah, well, what time? I guess I have a lunch.
Okay,
If we wanted to do it over your lunch,
That would be Tuesday about 1-ish.
There's an idea. I don't know. Normally in December we cancel one of the meetings. I don't know if you guys are anticipating doing that.
we'd have to do agenda planning to
we have to do agenda planning to cancel.
cancel.
Well, not necessarily.
So we could do it Tuesday at 1.
Okay.
Tuesday at 1.
I can edit it. What do you edit? Tuesday. You guys, you're holding out, huh? You're welcome
So
to.
what's gonna happen after the fifth? You got nothing.
Oh, are you? Oh.
I mean, I went out farther than I normally do.
Prevention is on the 9th, or I don't know if that's still happening.
We're doing let me look on my calendar.
Yeah.
We have a road show and then I think we are meeting on our general time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finance meeting is on the 10th at 2 p.m.
Mhm.
Work session is still on the 10th, 3:30, so we might be canceling a work session or just
Would we do the finance
because of the
anyway?
holiday.
If we cancel the work session, then I'll probably cancel the finance.
Okay,
But
or reschedule the finance.
reschedule the finance.
Clinical safety on the 11th. Board site visit on the 15th. That is at Grand Preschools. Are, well,
9 AM?
are they still, they're still there? Okay.
That's,
Knock on wood, it'd be the last visit to that school.
9 a.m.
If people are
So
living
that'll
around.
work.
yeah,
Yeah, they don't do a 1 o'clock because they don't have kids.
I see, okay, that's fine.
So that is on the 15th.
Mm,
Sorry, I'm just poking fun now.
Okay. 9 a.m.
Is anyone going to the Economic Mobility Partnership?
When is that?
It's
on Tuesdays.
December 2nd. Oh, but it's your agenda. Oh, it's right.
No, it's in the evening, isn't it?
No, it's 9 to 11:30 a.m.
Yeah, I won't be able to. I saw that invitation.
Who was that invitation? Did I delete that too?
It was from somebody and I could show you.
I got it as well.
Chamber.
You can't.
No,
It was.
It came from like statewide and
Julie Rosier. Economic Mobility Partnership Roundtable. I mean, it looks, communities are aligning and leveraging the strengths of businesses, nonprofits, education partners, and civic leaders to improve poverty and educational outcomes in your town.
Was this what Laura Lee went to already? Or something similar?
No.
Oh,
No, she did that. It was a tourism.
That was a
That was.
oh,
Yeah.
this is economic.
yeah.
Are you going?
I think I am gonna go.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's the Gardner Policy Institute, which I think is, up north, right? So
Yeah.
political.
University of Utah.
Can I request that we do a once a quarter formal facilities committee meeting, just to go over things and talk about, even if it's maintenance and such, just so we can, I feel like there's stuff to be done, but we just forget it, and it would be good just to do it quarterly. It doesn't have to be forever.
Put that look on your calendar.
How often are you meeting now?
We haven't.
You haven't
It's
been-
not been formal, but I think we need to just set it, and then even if we just, because you get questions and you just,
Mhm.
and Matt's been good about keeping us informed, but there's more details out there I think we can get into.
On the 8th, Matt and I are going to Price for SESC meeting,
Legislative luncheon.
legislative luncheon.
Wow, that's December 8th.
Mhm. And then what-
SESC?
SESC,
Southeastern, something?
Southeastern.
Southeastern Educational Services.
SEESC. No school from the 22nd to the 1st, no, the 2nd. And then no school, staff prep day on the 5th. So we will do agenda planning and then we'll let you guys know about if
If you're gonna have
we're gonna
a
cancel
meeting,
it.
that work session. Okay.
And then tomorrow.
So we've got to talk about that because that has changed since we started this meeting.
There, but is it still kind of happening?
We hope, right, Holly?
Oh, right.
So the time has changed
Oh, great.
from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's from 1 to 2:30.
Okay, so the lieutenant governor is coming, And some teachers are doing a presentation, but she's bringing a whole, group of,
It's not even a presentation, it's just a panel.
a panel. But there'll be, a bunch of her cabinet staff. And so Kathy and I are gonna go, hopefully Kathy will see me. But it's a small room with a bunch of people in it.
Where is it? When is this?
Tomorrow, I was gonna say morning, but it's,
So 1 to 2:30? Okay.
Yeah. Just found out.
and it's about, it's specifically on House Bill 126.
Senate Bill 127.
Senate Bill 1.
Pretty close, I'm gonna.
I mean, do you guys know the difference? No. Literacy.
Oh, yeah.
It's about literacy, and the focus is on the feedback from the teachers to the lieutenant governor and her team. So it's really just an observation. It's not going to be a participatory participatory thing.
Will be flies on the wall.
Yep.
More than, and not.
And hopefully we're rescheduling rapidly and
It's done.
squared away.
But if you want to come down and shake hands, I think that would be at 1 o'clock. Is that what you said?
No, yeah, they should arrive right before.
You could go and shake her hand and meet her if you want to. And
But
then,
all the staff clearly aren't gonna be in
No.
attendance because they're.
No, and we have a set schedule, like, there's like a 15-minute debrief, half an hour of observation, half an hour with teachers, a 15-minute debrief again, and then they're out.
It's a pretty regimented.
Are they walking around and observing? Oh.
Just in our K-3 classrooms.
your face doesn't. There you go.
Come in the morning, they see reading.
Oh.
They come at 1 o'clock.
They're
They don't get to
They
see
see
our
snack
phone.
time
They don't
and
get to
their
see these things. They don't get to see what they're coming to look for.
Oh.
I think it switched to 10 today.
That literally changed while I was sitting here.
Whenever Matt got.
So.
Okay.
My apologies.
No, it's not like, we're not like, oh no, it's just like, oh, it's a bummer because we do such great things with our reading and having them come and see that you fly time would be very impactful versus having them come in and we're like, we're making butter.
The week is the Thanksgiving.
It's gonna be great.
It'll be great.
That's gonna be fantastic.
Good butter.
We'll be having fun.
And then just a reminder of USDA is Salt Lake.
Mhm.
Put that, make sure that's on your calendar.
That's been reserved, right, Nishay? You've already got those things reserved.
You should all have your room reservations in your emails.
Yeah. I haven't.
I don't think I've seen it.
I had mine a long time ago.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I booked up a long time.
Okay.
ago. Yeah.
All right, moving on, we don't need an executive session.
I don't need one.
All
Of
right.
course you don't, because I got you the form today.
But you're gonna email me to me. So I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a second?
Second.
Dave Grayson makes the motion, Kathy Williams seconds. We are adjourned at 7:38.
Good work, everyone.
Is there gonna be a problem that I'm the one that always makes the motion to adjourn, like I wanna get out of here, like some
No.
have this indicated?
No.
No,
In my free time, I keep statistics on that kind of stuff.
that's stick.
Do you, yeah, it's pretty sure. That's what comes with it.
It's my own favorite motion.
That's
So, here's the
hilarious.
noise stuff that-
Was she good today?
Always.
She was in a mood
Thanks.
this morning.
You're on pretty old,
Get one on the books.
you figured it out.
Oh, man.
Hey,